Welcome to Select Health with me, Emanuela. Like we've been discussing about different aspects of health, all around health. Today we are discussing about social health and how it affects our general well-being. Social health is basically the ability to create meaningful and interpersonal relationships with others that are healthy and solid. And with me in the studio today, I have Samuel. He has been with us before, and I'm glad to host him again. Welcome, Samuel.
Thank you, Manuela. Good to be here.
Could you once again introduce yourself to the viewers?
Good evening, viewers. I am Samuel Gambachi. I'm a personal life and development coach. What that simply means is that I am so fixated and in love with hearing about things that people go through.
Yes.
And that's basically the social life that we have. And it's great to have these conversations every time.
Yes. I'm glad to have you on here, Samuel. Like I introduced to the viewers, today we are talking about social health and how important it is to build strong, solid relationships with others in order to see to it that we're all around healthy, happy individuals. So today in particular, we're going to tackle personal brands and how personal brands blend in to our social lives. So personal brands is basically how we present ourselves to the public, to each other. Could you expound more about personal brands?
I will maybe use organizations.
Yes.
Because people maybe see companies a lot.
Yes.
And so every organization or company has what they call a brand.
Yes.
This is what it stands for. This is what people know it for.
Mm-hmm.
That when you make mention of a certain company, there is an image that automatically gets down into your mind.
Yes.
So when we talk about personal brands, we are simply saying that every individual is a brand.
Mm-hmm.
So every individual is an organization of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So how then do you want to be known by people outside there who view you, who watch you? And so we always say that personal branding is a set of skills, experiences in life that you've attained, and this is how you want people outside to know you and to situate with you. Mm-hmm. So that if someone said, I met Manuela,
mm-hmm.
there is an image you want someone to know you for. And so you must build it.
Mm-hmm.
At times we build it consciously, and at times it happens unaware,
yeah.
because it is our personality,
mm-hmm.
which at times we can't change.
Mm-hmm.
So in a nutshell, is that how do you want to be known?
What stamp are you leaving in the world? Basically, God forbid, okay, we'll all walk on this path that is life,
yes.
But when we leave, there's a stamp that you leave behind. People will always associate somewhere with.
And that's what is called a legacy.
Yes.
A legacy is known after you're gone.
Yes.
But a legacy is
built
when you're alive.
And that
so
is...
we're simply trying to say that what you're building now, every single day that you build something,
mm-hmm.
it is what shall be known of you when you are gone.
Yes.
And that shall be the legacy. But that legacy is not built after you've gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's built every single day. A brand is like nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
You're a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day there is an activity you're doing into nurturing your daughters.
Yes.
Teaching them morals,
mm-hmm.
teaching them manners, teaching them values,
mm-hmm.
teaching them activities at home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might not ideally have an evaluation report every single day,
yeah.
that you say today I've done this and that. But you see, speaking to them, seeing you smile, how you dress before them, the words you tell them every single day.
Yes.
You're seeding into those little ones.
Yes.
And 10, 20 years from now,
mm-hmm.
they will stand for those values that you've nurtured them. So you have to be really careful with your everyday conversation with the people around you and with your own self, because that's what will be known of you.
And that's very interesting that you're saying that, because you realize that even as you're mothering your own children, just like the example, I'm going to use the same example that you've used, even when you're parenting, the world is still watching, and people will want to associate with a certain kind of parenting, want to know how does she do it versus how the other person does it, because they kind of are attracted to the way you do it. So already that is, now you're attracting a certain people of a likeness to you, and that already is part of what we're discussing about, which is social health. You're building relationships that are long lasting and have been basically sparked off by parenting. And that's just one aspect of life. And not only to the outside, even your children, how you parent them will basically liken them to other children that have been brought up in a similar style.
Yes.
So now you see it's a chain, it's a web. And now that explains how and why people make certain choices when it comes to who they roll with.
Yes.
Like how you say, ask me, show me your friends, and I'll tell you, you know?
Exactly.
Yes, so that's what it means. So now about personal branding, tell us more. How can someone build a brand? The steps, the small steps to knit a good brand or whatever brand.
For starters, like any organization, they first have a PR team.
Yeah.
So you have to have a PR team with yourself. and this begins with, for starters, you must understand yourself. For me, this is the first primary foundation for any human being, to understand yourself. That is both who you are and what you are. In our last conversation, we talked about this.
Yes.
Then the moment you understand them, then now it helps you cut clear what we call purpose for living.
Yes.
We most of the time talk about purposeful living. Now, purposeful living is that
living purposefully, like
what is a purpose, for example?
Yes.
A purpose is that it's something you stand for, it is something you believe in, and it is something you will say, I will die for this. So for starters, in creating a brand or building a personal brand, every individual, for the first thing, they must have a purpose as to why they are living.
Yes.
They must have a purpose. They want to be known for, they want to stand for, and they want to be known for all their life. If you want to say that I want to be known for having created, for having, being generous in society, then you must read about generosity,
philanthropy.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that is your purpose. You benchmark it as your purpose. Now that helps you to know that in case anyone brings another blurry purpose, as in something not clear identified with what you're doing, then you push it off as fast as you can.
Yes.
So the first thing in life is identify your purpose. What is your intention in this world? How do you want to be known?
Yes.
And the moment you identify that, then it clearly cuts off certain spaces that you want to be in. If you want to be known as a person who served God and who loved God, then you can't be sleeping in the bar every single day.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Then you can't be the one hurling insults at people every single day.
Yes.
Because the moment you've known that you want to be known as a person who lived a Christian journey, then there are things
you have to be
associate
exemplary
with.
as well.
Exactly.
You can't be contradictory. You can't say you're one thing and put out something else.
You cannot.
Yes.
We always say that people know you not because of what you say,
but what you do.
What you do.
Yes.
A couple of times we say so many things.
Yeah.
But people will look for that what we do.
Are you walking the talk?
Are you walking the talk, like you're saying? It's not about the talk. No, we all can talk.
Yes.
We all make promises.
Yes.
We all tell ourselves lovely things in this social life and social space. Even this show, you commit yourself in your head that you're going to give out a show to the viewers. All that is the talk you're giving them, but is it reflected in the lives we live? When you get off the show, you don't want to appear on the show and then they say Manuela talks about social health and good living, and then when someone moves out and finds
So
on the street and you're the one throwing negative
insults, you're
and that's
eating
the brand.
terrible.
And that's why you see in media, mostly TVs, they so much protect their brand.
Yeah.
That when you get out of studio here, you must keep at the back of your mind that you're STV. There are so many things you're going to do outside here, thinking that
are
now
not
you've moved out
representative.
of STV. And shockingly, someone out there who has known you because of STV will say, hey, you mean STV people do this? And silently, you're killing the brand of STV.
Of work as well, yes.
Of work as well.
Yes.
So a purpose is very, very key in moving and having a personal brand. Clearly cut out what is your purpose. What are the things you believe in, the things you stand for, and the things you can die for. Most parents will always have this say of I'll die for my little ones. And every time they wake up to work, they are working for that innocent soul that they are raising. They are working that if I'm not here anymore, my kids must have food, my kids must eat. So you are literally waking up every day to teach your little ones how to live, how to fish for themselves.
Yes.
Otherwise, you would have decided to feed them, but when you're gone, what happens?
Yes.
So our purpose is very, very, very key in building a personal brand.
That is very interesting that you're saying that, but then we see that social media is making people live double, triple, quadruple lives. What they put out there is not the reality of things, so it's quite misleading. That is why one time we had a conversation that the relationships you build on social media, are they solid enough? Can you call this your Facebook friend a friend? Based on what? You get it? Based on what? Because you may ride on with this friendship for a bit, but it's all a facade. So is that kind of social media branding or social media personal branding, does it hold water? Should we say you should separate and say, you know what, because you could meet this person and they are totally different from what it is that they have said. We've seen people that have started relationships on social media and then they're not sustainable. Now I'm talking about like romantic relationships. They've met on social media, then they start to forge a relationship and it's still remote. Then when they come together and stay together for like some months, all hell breaks loose. And you know, so that kind of branding, now you see we start to think there's a personal branding that people make for people to see on media, and then there's a personal branding that is actually them, like you said, it's personality, it's their inbuilt concrete soul kind of thing. So when we talk about branding, what is it that we envisage and what is it that we need to draw a line on about, knowing that social media is with us to stay?
Now, amazingly, you bring up a conversation about social media, and we must agree that we're in a digital world.
Yes.
We're in a very, very mobile village where you sit in Kampala and you have a conversation with someone in the US, you have a conversation with someone in the Philippines, you roll West Africa, you roll East Africa, and you can, in your home, at the end of the day, have a conversation with the whole world.
Yes.
Now, that is very powerful to say that then, unlike before where our personal brands were limited within the areas of where we stay and the people we associate with every single day, now our brands are global.
Yes.
That right now, health is not going to be watched by someone just sitting in Kampala, but there is someone in Indonesia, there is someone in the Philippines who's watching.
Yes.
Now, you must be careful by the brand you build on social media, you must also be very careful with the people you want to bring within your inner circles on social media. Why? Is that every human being could have a reason that is different from the reason why you're on social media. Now, the most unfortunate thing is that there are so many people who come on social media because they want to hide
their actual
identity.
self. Yes, that is very
Now, that's why you have to be very careful that someone could use you in a hidden way to end up killing your own brand.
Yes.
I'll give an example. No one wants to say the dirty linen in their life.
Of course.
If no one wants to come on social media and say that they are broke. Now, everyone wants to portray this happy life.
Yes.
In fact,
Glamorous.
when you go on social media, that's when you realize that there are no sad souls. Everyone is simply be happy. When I wake up in the morning and you're hungry, you never post that you're hungry.
No.
But when you go out for lunch, then you take photos of food. Then that moment you've bought a new shoe, then you're posting a new shoe. So you give this image that is very impressive of life is good.
Yes.
Life is good. And so a couple of times we are attracting people because they think life is good. So there is someone who says, no, I want to meet that Manuela, I like her lifestyle. And when they drop into your life, then they realize the reality checks in.
Yes.
So she also gets broke.
Yeah.
So she also eats a Rolex.
Yeah.
But on the social media life, they're seeing,
exotic,
combos, exotic food, the exotic restaurants around town, the fugo gauchos of this world. And so when they come into your life, then they discover you actually also eat the roasted meat on the roadside every single day. And so that's why you say, then hell breaks loose. Because how they came, what attracted them into your life is not what they have found as a reality into your life. And that's why then we say that because that alone shows you that the purpose is not identified. For example, we have what we call conflict of careers or conflict of interests. There are people who bankers, for example.
Yes.
But in their personal lives, they are happy people, lifeists, they love fun, they even love soccer. Now, the banking bit could be your career, but outside banking, you have a personal life,
a social
that
life
you live, a social life that you live.
Yes.
So when you are going to build up a social media site, first be very clear. Which person here are you trying to advertise?
Yes.
Which brand are you trying to build?
Yes.
Are you trying to brand the social person in you or the banker in you? I do life coaching. Now, behind life coaching, I have my own life, my own social life.
Yes.
And so when I get on social media, I must be very clear which side of me am I portraying out there for people to see.
Yes.
Is it my social life or my life coaching life? So because of that, there is when I want to post a photo of me somewhere doing my own crazy things, and then I have to be like,
but already,
no,
yes,
this
I can't
is
post
me.
that
I'm going
one.
to conflict with
What
the other
you've put
person
out
they are falling
already.
in love with.
Yes.
The person watching me here is going to follow me because they're interested in the conversation that we are having that is about building personal brands. Now, you don't want that person now to enter into your life and then find something completely different.
How conflicting is that though? Because I'm thinking there's a conflict there. How conflicting is that though? But before you answer that question, that particular question, I think we're going to go into a short break. Then when we come back, we're going to pick up right from there and proceed. Welcome back to the conversation about social branding in social health. I mean, personal branding in social health. Before we went for the break, we were talking about how conflicting it can get, especially in this age of social media and AI, where people display one part of themselves and they are totally a different part. So, Samuel, the conflicts in branding, whereby you are someone else on social media, and me knowing you, Samuel, or when I get to meet you after I've forged this relationship with you on social media, I get exposed to a completely different Samuel, just because people like to hide behind the keys, like so to say. So now that conflict, I think, is really, really, really major, because it even affects your mental state. Because if I find, should I say, if I find that you're not as welcoming, and then I shun you off, it could put you in a state where you're thinking, Amore is being shunned off, the real me. So you're not accepting of who you are as you are. So that's why you keep putting out someone that you're not. But how sustainable is that in brand building? How sustainable is that?
Brand building or growing a brand as a person, I can tell you, is something you have to do until the last breath.
Yes.
There is no single day, there is no holiday.
Yes.
Every single day that you wake up and you're alive, you must put a brick onto that social brand that you need people to know and know you for.
So how about the conflicting one?
The conflicting one now, you see, is why the conflicting of the brands is coming up.
Yes.
Is because people are not honest,
embracing
to
themselves. Yes. Even
they have not embraced themselves.
Who they are.
We are living in a world where you want to associate with yourself with something at times that you're not, which is called impersonation.
Yeah.
Now,
not sustainable.
It's not sustainable because you are diamonds. You are stones, but because you've been told that there are diamonds, you want to associate yourself with diamonds, and so you get yourself as a stone, you coat yourself with diamond, but when
underneath
deep inside you, you're a stone that is not very precious. And so people come around you
thinking you're a diamond,
because that's what they are seeing. And so when they get into your life and then they take you into the process of refinery, then you become a normal stone.
Yes.
And then immediately the diamonds throw you out. And then you feel a sense of rejection. Now, it is not that the diamonds have rejected you. No, it is
you're misleading.
who laid yourself entering into a group of diamonds when you are not a diamond. So you must be very clear. I talked about purpose. Identify your purpose and yourself. If you're clay, fit with clay.
And if you must be a diamond and you're a different kind of stone, make sure you can sustain the diamond look. You all the way. Maybe try so hard to diminish the other stone. I don't know how you'll do it, but also it's not sustainable because that's not who you are.
Because that's not who you are. You live a life that is impersonating all the time, and that's why many people go wrong, because every time you try to please the public, then you're
dying inside
yourself. And that's
it affects your mental health,
depression,
even high blood pressure.
You've seen cases of people on social media who have gone into rehab.
Yes.
You understand? Because of that
put onto
inner
substance
that they have with themselves. I was viewing social media and there is a common celebrity on social media who posted some very reckless post on social media, and you could see that there was a lot of hurting and anger in bitterness within them. And when they put up that social media post, in less than 5 minutes they pulled it down and then put another post and said, my father has instructed me to put this post down, because in the original post that person had put across, it was showing a lot of bitterness, anger, everything that was negative, and it was going to call for a lot of attack on them.
But that's it. They're going
celebrities because they so much live their life on social media. Even when they are going through challenging times, they still want to show the world everything is rosy, and internally you keep dying. So it's very important that for you to be able to eliminate the conflict, first eliminate the impersonation. be you.
Yes.
Be really you. Let someone pick blue out of you if you're wearing blue. Don't, and
Take
that's
it
what
or leave it.
I keep saying, stop mixing blood with milk.
Yes.
Be milk and we drink you for milk. Be blood and we know you for being blood. But the moment you want to mix blood and milk
Together,
then you're going to lose that solution.
Yes.
So in order to avoid the conflict, be you, be clear, have clear content that you want people to know you for. And you see, this must be consistent, this must be persistent, and you must have a lot of patience. Life needs you to be very consistent, persistent, and be very patient. This show is going to stand the test of time 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, only if it is consistent, persistent, and you're patient to see the show grow.
Wow, this is amazing. And it's so amazing, but unfortunately, the show has come to an end. We are going to have to come back to revisit this, Samuel. We're going to have to revisit and continue. It's always very, very good as a life coach myself when I sit down with Samuel, because we're like birds of a same feather that flock together. So thank you so much for joining us today on Select Health. My name is Emanuela. Come back and join us still every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Thank you, Samuel, for being here. So social health, like we said, is very important. Thank you for being with us, and please keep healthy.